This is, by the way, mini-maxers should always pay to have little votive images of them placed in every temple that they ever have a chance to go to.
Now he tells us. Anyway.
Just telling you. Welcome back to another episode of the Chaosium House RuneQuest campaign, the Epic of the White Bull. I'm Jeff Richard, and I will be the GM. And what we're going to do is we're going to dive right in. We are missing Linda tonight. She has been no doubt swamped by the snows or whatever Arctic conditions there is in Norway, and New Year's Eve and midwinter and all of that awesomeness. But we got critical mass here. And one of the things we've usually done off camera, but we'll do a little bit of it right now, is last episode we went through all of sea season 1626. Not a lot of adventurous stuff happened on that season, but actually you guys did an awful lot, and you spent an entire season in the city of Boldholm. So we get some experience checks, don't we?
Yep.
End of season stuff. So Neil, do you want to run folk through this, because you got the rules open to this?
I do have it open. So basically, I mean, standard, roll your skill and get to add your bonus and see if you go over that. I don't think we actually have a lot, because all we did was a spire, the visit to a spider tomb. So there's a couple of climb checks some people have. That's it. I think it's going to be different for Nkala, but she's not here anyway. The other thing is anyone who has done training can make their training roll. In terms of that, my training is NISCs is still ongoing, so I'm going to wait. But for the others, they can roll that there if they haven't already. And then we also get, and I've got to increase the font because my eyes are small, but we actually get the other experience we get because we're staying somewhere is we get a number of, 4 occupational and cult skills to get experience checks on.
And so this, by the way, is something that's in the rules to basically solve the perennial hunt for an experience check. If you just do your regular stuff, you're going to go up in your regular activities. And I believe what it is you pick 4 skills that are
4 occupational and cult skills, and they're from the character creation if you go back on it. But most should be pretty obvious.
Yes.
Like I could decide that Nisk would use his manage household because he's probably the one doing most of the coordination in terms of this group of folk coming and going and stuff like that.
Sounds good to me.
We also get, what is the other one? We also have a holy time that we've done. We talked about it that we need to do to make sure to try and get, I don't know about anyone else, but Nisk doesn't have any rune points. And we've had a holy day, so he should get some chance to get some back.
Yes, I'm going to let you roll. Everybody should have had a seasonal holy day. Even Gina, remember Tykoratek has a temple here. She's got her own charnel grounds. So everybody's going to get to make a seasonal holy day check to get rune points back. So you're going to get that. You guys are going to get 4 occupational. I don't think anybody made any skill checks, did they?
Just climb, I think, and listen.
Climb and listen. Yeah.
I have a climb and I have a scan check.
Okay, brilliant. So so there's only a handful there. Otherwise, let's just go for that and see how that goes.
And there's no power gain roll this time, sadly.
Yeah, because it's only seasonal.
So what do I have to get my rune points back? I have to roll power over.
You need to roll a worship ceremony.
It's the worship ceremony, and then we get a skill based on that. And you can choose to donate to increase your chance of increasing it if your worship isn't very high.
Yeah. So the best ways to do on this is you can try make a big sacrifice. That's always a good one. And also just say, I am going to try to augment it with, I will dance in the ceremony. I will do whatever.
Meditate is the one that helps you too. It actually gives you a pretty big bonus.
Yeah.
If you have a good meditate.
My meditate is not that good. I could prepare a corpse ritually.
No.
Okay, I will dance and sing. It's so boring. I want to do something else.
Add more skills.
Uh,
Okay, so why don't we do the ritual, the holy day first? I've got to find the page for that. I got to remember that's under rune magic, right? Or rune cults.
Yes. It should be actually at
There
the
you
very beginning of rune.
It is.
Yeah.
And these are not, they're holy days, but not major holy days, if that's right. I can't, I'm looking, struggling for where it is, of course. Went through all the temple sizes and all that magic stuff, and we're almost there, hopefully. Oh, do you know what page that's on, Jeff? Because I can't see it.
Hold on. Which are you looking at specifically?
Oh, here we are. I got it. Replenishing rune points.
Yes, I wrote a nice little section on that. I believe it's at the beginning of rune magic.
High holy days, which none of us have. Is that true?
Correct.
So it's a holy day, seasonal holy day. Is 2d6. If you succeed, you get 2d6. And on failure, you get 1d3.
So let's hear
wait.
it.
No. 1d6. Sorry.
Correct, because none of you guys
No.
are.
The failure. No, initiates get 2d6. Rune points, rune level get all if you succeed.
Ah, yes. If you're a rune priest, god talker, or
now,
rune
if you
lord,
have a
get everything
votive,
back.
one of those statues back in Pavis,
which we do.
For each statue, you also get one. So this could work out well.
This is, by the way, mini-maxers should always pay to have little votive images of them placed in every temple that they ever have a chance to go to.
Now he tells us. Anyway.
Just telling you. Well.
But we're only getting back the room points we actually spent.
yes.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
it's
if
like
you only
gaining
have 3 or 4 like me, then, it doesn't really.
Yeah.
By the way, as an aside, how many rune points do your characters have at this point in terms of the maximum? Nisk, I think you have the most.
Maybe, probably. Nisk has 8.
Garen?
3.
Gina?
4.
Philip?
I have 3 as well.
Okay.
Okay, now these are the other thing that's really important on this is it's a seasonal holy day, gives us 20% to our worship. If it's a minor temple, shrine is no bonus. Minor temple is 10%. Major
Orlanth
is 20.
cultists, you guys are in a great temple.
So you and I are Colbrass are at 50% already.
On top of your existing skill. Let me just check what it is.
So
it's minor for Tycoratech. I think it is also this is the only great temple to Humacht in all of Sartar. I just need to double check that, but I believe that Boltom, and by the way, everybody, this will all be in the forthcoming Sartar book, is the size of the temples in every location.
Does this mean, sorry.
So which is a very useful thing.
Claudia, you're going to get a plus 30 on your roll, not counting anything you want to sacrifice.
Then I have already a 90, so do I have to sacrifice something? Because everything else is nearly a failure.
Make a choice, 2 or not to do it. So, I mean, if you only need 3 back, 2.
Okay, well, Garen, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think at this time, remember I've said that there's lots of mercenaries in the city and whatnot. I'd say this counts as time of war, don't you? For Sartar.
Certainly feels like it.
Yes. I mean, yeah, we were discussing off camera how febrile and unsettled the atmosphere is within the city, and how it's a tinderbox. So yeah, I think so.
So at times of peace, the Humacht temple is only a major temple, but at times of war, it is a great temple. So I would say really this is a great temple. So add 50% to your worship skill.
Wow. Okay, so that takes me to 110.
And keep in mind, this is one of the reasons why it's good to go to Boldholm more than almost any other place in Sartar. Is it's darned easy to get, regardless of your cult. It's probably the easiest place to get a lot of rune points back.
It's 31 against 110.
Wow, then roll 2d6.
Okay, I rolled 23, and that's against 150. So that's a special. I don't think that does anything though.
Wowzers. You know what I'm going to let you do for a special? This is just a house rule, mainly because it's New Year's Day in 2021, and I'm filled with optimism, and I've been having a little bit of whiskey. So let's just make it 3d6.
Okay. It doesn't matter. I would have gotten it because I've got 2 votives as well.
So you're fully replenished?
Goodness.
Gina, are you replenished?
I haven't rolled yet. I'm rolling, and I rolled a 45 on my 90.
So
roll 2d6. You'll probably get
pretty darn good. You're going to get them all back.
Yeah, don't you have a votive as well back in Pappas?
No, I don't. But the thing is, I have only 4 rune points, and I'm actually near. I didn't spend that many, so I rolled 6, so I'm full.
Okay, excellent. And for everybody watching, this is part of the dynamics of this. You want to go back to your temple. We've got people already mini-maxing a little bit with their votive images, and I joke calling that mini-maxing, but if you ever go to the British Museum or other archaeological museums, there's a reason that wealthy people made sure that they had statues of themselves in the temple. And it's one of the things I love. I mean, how many statues do you guys have? Nisk has one back in Pappas?
I've got one small one.
Nisk has 2. I think he's gonna get one here as well.
And Carla's got a big one. And unfortunately, Linda's not here, but she's got a big statue, I think.
So let's do the end of the season thing at the end of the season skill increases, and then I think it would be a good time for us to head into Kolimar lands, because I believe that's your plan for fire season.
Yeah, a little bit of a visit there. I've still got the strength training that I'm doing.
But you can run up and down the mountains on the way while we just...
I can run up and down Starfire Hill, Ridge, stuff like that, talk to the spirits. So for my 4 cult or skills, I'm going to try and increase my meditate. Actually, I have a check on meditate. I don't need to do that one. I'm going to go for my worship Ornath because I think that's really important. You can't do cult lore, right? Because you have to get trained on that. It's trained.
Correct.
Okay, I will go for orate. And I will go for John manage household and weapon. Okay. Everybody got theirs as well to roll?
Yeah. What counts as what here?
Well,
so meditate. I can.
Yeah. So
you're at one.
If you're Ornath Thunderous, you can look at all the Ornath skills.
Yeah. Let me back up even more. And really the function of this is you should get experience off the stuff that you do in order to survive for that season. So what is it that Colbrest does?
Well, it's probably going around the marketplaces, talking to the various people there about their wares, honing his evaluate skill. As a lay member of Isaris, this is a very nice.
You may want to do your bargain too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and my bargain if I buy stuff, that is. Yeah. So that certainly then, I guess meditate is a good thing. After all this ruckus, and well, I guess
fail on my climb. I failed on my climb check. After all that climbing we did, I rolled a 0-1. So no gain.
Did we already do the checks?
Yes.
Yeah, do them now, Claudia.
But we cannot do stuff like riding, or that needs to be trained. Is that
Yes,
correct?
because that's not stuff. So basically, and I know this is very abstract, but you basically look at the skills, and this is the sort of stuff you're doing to survive. So I would bet within the group, Cobrest is the guy who goes down to the markets to make sure you guys have food. Nisk, does that sound right to you?
Yep.
He certainly goes along with whoever goes to the market to see that we don't get cheated.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. I mean, someone else can actually buy the food and carry it, and all these things.
Garen, how about you? What are you doing?
They can also be cult, so very specific for you. They could be your temple stuff, right? That like I
worship all ants and things like that.
Exactly.
Neil, is it 1d6 or 1d6 half?
It's 1d6. Where is it? Let me go back again. Sorry.
Okay, it's fine.
I mean, I'm training already in the Humak Temple with.
Yeah, but you can do your worship and stuff like that. That might be a good one.
And you could do devotion. You could even do honor.
Yeah.
To be fair, my honor's so high, the chances of it going up are tiny.
But if it does go up, you will feel so good.
That's true.
Yeah,
right, we'll do worship. Yeah, we'll do basically. I'll just do stuff around Humak, so it'll be cult lore, worship. Can you do loyalty?
To who? You tell me.
To Humak Temple.
It says skills between adventures, not passions. You can train a passion. You can choose to do something like that, but not otherwise.
I think that'll be it, to be honest.
That's a lot.
Oh, battle. I'll try and put battle up as well. Right.
Okay, go for it, kids.
Already rolled. I am better at manage household.
Okay, that's
good. Good. Very good.
What is actually this session with Fabio?
That's riding. You get a roll on your riding. Let me just look that for you because you did training. If you had not done that.
Yeah.
With Fabio.
And it's flowing hair.
So you can add 2% to riding, or you can roll d6 minus 1.
I roll a d6 minus 1 because I have only a 19 on riding, so I need every point. You know something? It's standing on the side again. I don't know how I make this with an electronic dice. I only show you that it's actually standing on the edge again. It's the second time I managed that. So I roll again.
Buddy, I'm convinced that there's some sort of cheat mechanism on your iPad electronic dice rolling thing. So what did you roll?
I rolled now a 5, so I get 4 points. 4 points. So I'm 24 on riding. Yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh, and the other thing to do is for training, you can't train typically things over 75, just to be aware of that.
What do you train?
Listen, you can't train. Like my character has a ride of 75, so I can never train in it, but I can get experience checks still.
Can I do something else except my riding?
Well, you get your 4, right? Your 4 ones we just talked about.
Yeah, the ones which are important for my cult.
Your cult or
prepare corpse, dancing,
meditate.
Yeah. Taikora Tech lore. Those would all be good. Or worship Taikora Tech.
Oh wow. So
not Taikora Tech lore because that's a lore skill.
Let's see. Now I managed to have a D10 on its edge. I don't know why I managed that.
Could just use proper dice.
It might have an option which is allow it to stick on the edge, or maybe you have to shake it while you're.
Yeah. So okay, this is nothing. So I failed here. That one also failed.
Yeah, I didn't do very well either.
And which is my force I choose.
It can be a business one or communicate if you want. Like if that's
No. I actually spirit law. Can I do spirit law here?
Is that one of the Taikora Tech?
no, it's not a. It doesn't look to be a trainable
lore.
skill.
Yeah, it's not trainable.
No, right. You cannot.
Sorry, it is trainable. It's not.
It's trainable.
Experience.
But it's not an experienced one, so I have to see what else I use. Oh, I can do that one. No.
Okay, so did everybody do theirs?
Yep.
Are we all good?
Almost. Yeah. So I did meditate, bargain, and evaluate.
And you get one more.
So the question is, is something like intrigue would be possible as well?
Is that a cult thing for you or occupational?
No, that's one of the cults I'm not member of, I guess.
Is it what you consider your occupation be? And I'm willing to change these things as you define how it is that you function. But
well, I think
how well do you even speak Sardarite?
Not very well. Not
right.
At all.
Not at all. So how good are you at dealing with the intrigue in the city?
Yeah, really great, because I have no clue what's going on. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'll just do worship Orland. That's okay.
So Colbrest is probably really good when Nisk or Garen or Gina tell what's going on with the tribes and whatnot. But your actual ability to intrigue
is bad, yes.
Is bad here. Yeah. It's like my ability to intrigue
Which
in
is
Poland.
Just as well, I guess. You know, we have enough. We're in enough trouble already, as it is. So yeah, lucky escape. Yeah.
All right, so jump in. Are we ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so every season, and this matters, but I'm going to let you guys decide this. Every season we know has 8 weeks. So what week do you all decide to head to Kolimar lands?
This is in
fire season. So fire season, also as an aside, you know, when you guys got here, it was during the winter when it was all cold and all that fun. It is now
wait, we had now storm season. So it was sea season, then shouldn't it be storm season next?
No, it goes sea season, then fire season.
Sea fire. Okay.
Storm season is the last season of the year. So it is now early fire season. So when you got to Boldholm, it was actually late storm season. And back in late storm season, you know, at night it would drop down to -5. And at the height of the day, it'd be about 11. And in sea season, it bounced between, you know, at night between 1 and 5 and up to 16. But now, you know, now it's 25 degrees. It's nice. You know, that's so, and you all are all Sardarite. So this is the time, you know, people start throwing off all those heavy winter garments and whatnot. And we now look like sword and sorcery people wearing loincloths and cloaks. Because it gets, you know, it's for anybody that's been out in the Sierra Nevadas or in the Rocky Mountains, they get, you know, they are cold in winter, but in summer, you know, it's actually quite nice in Boldholm. And, you know, it's summer, so the snow is all gone. There's lots of water. You can see cracks out to the east. So, and of course, it just gets warmer throughout the season. So tell me what week, and just give me a number, that you guys want to head out to Kolimar lands.
Well, I have a different question. I mean, if we look, when are the holy days? So I'd like to go there. If we're only going to be probably only going to be there for a couple of weeks, right, at the time.
Okay.
So I'd like to be there for the Orlanth Holy Day with them. I think I'd be more appropriate considering we're going back to family.
Orlanth's Holy Day is always on movement season, and movement season is week number. You know, you would think after the amount that I've
we'd remember it.
I know it backwards and forwards, but I don't. That is week 6 is movement week.
No, maybe we don't do that. Let's just go week 1. Let's just do it early in the season.
So right off the bat.
Yeah, just get straight out there.
It is so you all head out in I believe this is Disorder Week. It is, you know, you're heading out of Boldholm and heading down. It takes about are you traveling hard, you know, every day, you know,
we're 2 days to get there, right?
What?
It's only 2 days to get there.
No, it's more than 2 days to get there.
2?
I even posted something into it.
I thought you said it was 2 in the post.
1 hard day's travel to Boldholm to Wilmskirk. That is 40 kilometers.
Okay.
I do sort of miss our days of hard traveling, so maybe we should, you know.
Do you guys want to do a 40-kilometer day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Get
no,
back
because I want to
into
have
the
time
saddle,
to do a bit of climbing as well on the way.
I'm less certain that a 40-kilometer day is something we should be doing.
In the fire season. Okay, yeah, no, we'll take we'll do a little more leisurely.
I'm wearing black cloth.
Well,
sorry.
You could wear white. I mean, that would work. You could always put some nice, you know, sort of golden threads in it or something.
Are sun umbrellas invented?
Yes.
Umbrellas.
Orgo could actually
hold parasol for you.
Are you gonna make Orgarl? Well, yeah. Poor Orgarl. How old is Orgarl, anyways? He's what, in his 50s?
120 by now, I think.
Certainly in terms of the abuse he suffered.
I don't know who all's familiar with Gormenghast, but Orgarl always reminds me of some character out of Titus Groan or something, you know.
Flay.
Yeah.
Isn't he really big though?
No. Yes, he's a kind of manservant-like person who stays in the background as necessary.
At one point, we thought he'd be like Mongo from Blazing Saddles, right?
The problem
is, Orgarl just changes from session to session. I
Orgarl is actually an institution, you know, and they always, when one dies, they send you a new one.
So it's a title, not a name.
Everything.
Anyways, so you're going to head about 20, 25 or so kilometers. You go through you're on the Royal Road, so it's good, you know, it's good travel the whole time. And the nice thing about the Royal Road is, first off, it's straight. It's a road. It's paved. There are little shrines all over the place. There's even wells at regular places, you know, places where you can get water. And
there are inns, I think, a day apart too for the whole road.
There is. You actually have 2 options for inns at about kilometer 20. You could go off the road to Joe's Always Open Inn. Mm-hmm. Or you could go up into the off the road a bit to the Broadview Inn, or you could go to the Ingen Inn that's associated with the local Earth Temple. The Broadview Inn is up in the mountains, and it's supposed to have this beautiful view. It's like a Philip, you'd be used to this. It's like the rest stations that you have up in the Alps, you know.
I vote we go there because, I mean, one thing, of course, that's I miss, or that Colbras misses here, is the wide view, because it's all very sort of enclosed and mountainy. So that would be nice.
I'm okay going there too. It gives me more up and down hills for my exercise.
It keeps you going. So the Broadview Inn is high up on Turnvecka Mountain. So you guys basically go, and there's a sign and a path that takes you up on the mountain, and you guys head up and head up and head up to about 2,100 meters.
Okay, that is a lot.
And it's actually there. It's not really a traveler's inn. It's there as a shelter and an inn for Orlanthi pilgrims traveling to the shrine on Quiven Mountains. And but the inn was built and maintained by the princes of Sartar, and has a small shrine to Orlanth Adventurous. But oh my gosh, guys, the view is just amazing. You know, you get this beautiful view. You're high up in the mountains. There's beer and you're able to get a stew and whatnot here. It's really, at the very least, for Nisk, this is really awesome. Probably for Colbrast as well.
Yeah,
Garen never cares, because Garen probably eschews the basic pleasures of a yummy stew.
I mean, I will sample some, but I'm an ascetic, you know, and I'm not here for these base pleasures.
I'm here for any pleasures.
Yeah, you're here for killing stuff, people and
Gina,
animals.
Yep.
You're probably afraid of heights, so.
It's I just actually gained 6 points of my climb skill, so I have now 16.
Well, so you all get to spend a
No, actually, no, 60, sorry. Now I have 56.
You all spend a pleasant evening up in the Broadview Inn, and again, it's think less a UK public house and more an alpine. What's the term for it?
There's a big terrace and
a lodge.
Well, that they have for mountaineers and skiers, but that you can hike up to as well.
A hut, you mean it?
Yeah, it's an alpine hut with food and places to sleep.
Okay, that's good.
So
anyone else here except us, or is it just us?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, there are actually four. There's a group of 4 pilgrims that are here, and they're about to make the pilgrimage up to the top of Quiven Peak. They're Orlanth worshippers, and they are happy to. They are there. They want to make. They had pledged to make a sacrifice and offering. To the god of the god atop mountains, which is no doubt one of the titles of Orlanth. But they are also happy to drink and tell stories and whatnot. But they are, because they're pilgrims, but they're not, this isn't like pilgrims heading off to the Holy Land or whatnot. These are folk that are off to go to some shrine way high up in the mountains.
How far is it? Is it 1 day's travel up the mountain?
It is it's a full day's. There's a path that goes from here through the mountains up to the top of Quiven Peak that they point out Quiven is the half brother of Orlanth, one of the sons of Carafin and Lodril.
Well, Colbrast, is this something interesting to you? Do you want to go climb a mountain?
Nope.
Go to a shrine?
It's difficult enough, climbing up small
and it's
mountains.
so high up, they say, that even in fire season, there is snow at the shrine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I might actually never really have seen snow yet. Or did we have snow in?
No, we had snow all over Bolton.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got
In
right
that
there.
case,
But this is Orland's half brother. It's the it's the mountain god.
Mm. It's
So
just
they're on a
climbing-
trip there to offer
the
sacrifices.
climbing part is a bit difficult with one
There's a
arm.
trail. There's
Okay. You can walk.
so how many I said? There's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So there's one old dude. There's an old dude and a group of 3 followers, 2 guys and 1 woman, all Orlanth cultists, and they are off there because they want to offer, this is Quiven Peak. This is it's Orlanth's brother, and you can talk to Orlanth from there. It's one of the sacred mountains.
Hmm. Well, I mean, we're on our way to your tribe, Nisk. You can't really.
I'm willing to go and
Do we
say
have
on the way
time
we
to-
climb a mountain.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. How often do you get this opportunity to go out and speak? You've done divination with Orlanth before, haven't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Sounds like it's a good thing to go up again.
Yeah, why not? Let's do this.
Who else is
Aaron?
going to go the next day?
If they're willing to, take
Oh,
us
of course
along.
they are. Of course they are, and they even have. They're all from the Balmar tribe, so from Wilmskirk, but they have a pear wine
Oh,
that's been twice fermented, so it's like probably 25-30% that they'll share with you.
that's nice.
Nice flask of pear wine. You gonna partake with them,
I will.
Yep, sure.
Gina?
I'm willing to let us join.
Yeah, I join.
They have lots of, I know Garen won't. They have songs and whatnot, and they're from the little village of Hill Pear.
That's the place where the wine is from, then.
Yep.
Okay.
It's their local thing, and basically what they brew, their little community does is they brew pear wine.
Ooh.
Well, they are to be commended on this wonderful wine.
Exactly, and they sing with you, and they have a
Mhm.
great time. And the next day, is anybody hungover?
I don't know. What do we have to roll?
Well, you have to first. You have to tell me how much you guys drink.
Oh, it's yummy.
And they're
isn't it?
happy. They are happy folk. They are off to Quiven Peak, high up in the mountains. And it's beautiful up here.
Mm.
It's astonishing. Do you guys want to see where this is?
Sure,
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah, sure.
So do you see Turnvecka Mountain here?
Just takes a minute, Jeff, to load up. It's still showing. You see Hill Pear. I do anyway.
Yeah.
And
see
I
it.
see Turnvecka Mountain just north above the Broadview Inn, which is just
Yep.
okay.
So Broadview
Cool.
Inn is where you all are, and you're going to take the path. There is a path that has been carved for pilgrims that goes all the way up to Quiven Peak.
Perfect.
And
Going
that
back on
white,
ourselves.
what?
We could have it'd have been quicker just to go straight from Bolto.
Yeah, possibly.
There may
But
not be the regular path that way, though.
there is
True.
I
probably
mean, that
not a
wasn't
regular
the
path there.
plan. That wasn't the plan in the beginning. So
So let me just unshare this. Here we are. So you all head through, and this is along it is one of these narrow paths that have been carved into the mountains. Does any of your characters from a flat lowland area of the world or might otherwise be frightened of heights? Colbrast and Gina.
no.
Australia has
I'm a
mountains
pirate.
too.
No, it doesn't.
I've been on Outlook posts on ships.
Okay, so Garen, Colbrast is not afraid of heights. Gina, are you afraid of heights?
I sat on a horse, so I'm not afraid of heights.
Awesome. So you all head up here into the very glaciers. I mean, there are glaciers up on the higher elevations. Once you get above about 3,000 meters.
Okay.
They're not
And
big
it's also
glaciers.
getting cold again, right?
It's cold again,
Oh,
even in fire season.
Yeah. Didn't sort of forgot about that. Well, better have
Well,
some
during
more
the day,
pale
it could be
wines.
pretty warm, actually.
Yeah, it's still
only
well
at night.
above freezing
Yeah.
during the day. You get up to the shrine, so you go way up to about above 3,000 meters.
Mm-hmm.
I know, Rich, you're from the UK. These are unimaginable heights.
I'm not sure this is real. I don't think
Exactly. I've been told that by somebody in Britain. You can't have that many. You know, there are nothing that high.
Nope.
No.
It's not. If it's not in Britain, then it doesn't really exist. That's pretty much the whole premise of Brexit.
So you're above 3,000 meters. You can see, the small glaciers that are around the peak, and there is a shrine there to Orlanth and Quiven, and they are gonna offer sacrifices and whatnot. And the way this works is, you Orlanth initiates, this is a chance to get a free divination.
So we would have to think about something to talk to Orlanth about.
Yes, you can have a direct commit. It's not an easy path. You're way up high, but I'm going to let you guys make if you would like, I'd let you all, the two of you, have a single divination to Orlanth without spending a rune point. So I'm going to let you guys do that. I would like to refill my glass. So I'm going to turn off the mic. Let's pause for a moment.
Just one question.
Go ahead. You're online.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. No, it's okay. I'll wait. I mean, we're still climbing up the mountain.
You're at the shrine.
Oh, we're at the
You're
shrine.
at the shrine.
We're having out-of-body experiences due to lack of
oxygen.
oxygen.
Amazing! You are so high up, and I want those of you all who are Orlanth cultists to make. I want you to make either a devotion Orlanth or a scan roll. Actually, everybody can make those. Either devotion Orlanth or scan.
Yep.
That's the devotion Orlanth.
Give me a sec.
Yeah. Both.
I have failed 63 over 45. So that's a fail.
Nope, devotion Orlanth is fine.
So you succeeded?
Yep.
Did you succeed, Nisk?
Yep. Would have failed my scan.
You are, in the clouds, and because you guys are high up, and as an aside, Nisk, you've never been this high up.
Cool.
You never have. You've been on the waters. You've traveled around the world, but you've never climbed up a mountain before, nor have you Colbrast or Gina.
It's high up now.
It's high up. You've certainly never been up at the glacier, above the tree level, at the glaciers. There's clouds. It's amazing, and you can see some winds.
Yeah. I think you're going to turn into a bird next. So light.
Well, and the two of you are absolutely convinced that you see spirits, winged spirits with the wings of birds, the bodies of beautiful humans. Clearly,
but they're those wind children, right?
Could be in the distance, flying around, enjoying up on this. But it could be wind children. It could be air spirits. Who knows what? It could be, children of the winds. I guess that would be wind children, wouldn't it?
It's flying humans.
It's pretty similar.
It's wondrous enough.
like wings of eagles or swans or whatever, and looking like not like a child seraphim from a Baroque church, but beautiful men and women, but a distance away, flying off the winds. I mean, this is clearly a holy place to Orlanth. And what Quiven Mountain is this big plutonic mass of igneous rock, like granite and other things from beneath the surface that came up in the Gods' War. So it's also impressive and imposing on its own right. You all make up, along with the rest of the pilgrims, you offer sacrifices and whatnot, and you can ask your question to Orlanth. And let's start with Nisk.
Okay. Nisk is going to ask Orlanth and say, given the failure of the Lightbringer's quest, the recent Lightbringer's quest, what is the best thing for us to do to help defeat the chaos that has come out because of it?
Okay, I want you to roll against your air rune.
Air rune? Okay.
Air rune.
Okay. Air is pretty good. I roll a 0-2. Air is a 95. So that's probably a success.
Okay. Am I allowed to tell everybody what you get, or do you want it to be personal?
No, I'll tell everybody. I don't think he's trying to the people.
Defeat the son of the red moon.
Okay.
Oh, what was that voice?
That's the Red Emperor.
Right? Doesn't that sound like?
Yeah.
Orlanth gives no additional answers, but it is clear to defeat the chaos, it's going to require defeating the Red Emperor. Now, everybody knows what the Red Emperor is. Philip, do you?
Nope.
The Red Emperor is the ruler of the Lunar Empire, the folk that used to rule Sartar. Probably the most powerful person in the world. Certainly the ruler of the biggest empire in the world. So no small potatoes.
Yeah.
Colbrest, do you have a question for Orlanth?
Yeah, well, which of your aspects do you find the most fun?
I hate you.
This light-headed option is nearly not, he's not really himself at the moment, I think.
Would you please roll against your air rune?
Yeah.
Hopefully you fail, so I don't have
Actually, I'm afraid I have a 14 of 76.
All that know the corporeal love of the earth goddess, all that know the joy of battle and conflict, and all aspects of me that leap and dance upon the winds. That is what is fun. I'm sure he uses a word different than fun. I mean, this is one of the great gods but yes, it's basically the corporeal love of the earth goddess. The din and lust of battle and defeating my foes. and dancing upon the winds.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that basically come down to? Sex, fighting, and
floating.
And yes, and dancing around in the winds. That's what Orlanth finds most fun.
So this is probably one of his favorite places here, I would imagine.
Yes. Orlanth is the god of he's the god atop mountains. You can always find him on the top of a high mountain. And Garen, I believe you're the last one.
Yes, with my lay membership, just about earning me a question. How can we best aid Argrath to prove himself the true heir of Sartar?
He must light the flame.
Cool.
Right.
So
stuff we knew, but stuff we knew, but maybe didn't know as well.
I hope those were useful questions and useful answers, or at least confirmed. I mean, it's always good to have a god confirm stuff you already know.
Yep.
With that, you guys go up there and then head back to Broadview Inn, along with the other pilgrims. There is, they drink, they feast. They were in the presence of God, so they drink to excess. They ask, one of them asked, "Did you see the Wind Children?"
We did.
Yeah, yes, it was magnificent, very astonishing, awe-inspiring, even.
And again, up to you all, but they are having there is a nice jovial camaraderie there. You can make friends if you want or not. They are from Hillpear Village. They are not rulers or anything. They are just very devout Orlanthi of Hillpear Village.
Well, that's certainly somewhere we'll have to go for some more of that pear wine, I think, at one point.
Well, the next day you head down from Broadview Inn, and actually at about kilometer 12 or so is the Hillpear Inn. You could stay at the Hillpear Inn or in Wilmskirk proper.
Oh, the Hillpear Inn after that great hospitality, because we probably traveled with them.
You traveled with them all the way back to the Hillpear Inn, and oh my gosh, they, that you traveled with the pilgrims. Sadly, I don't have names for all of them, but they pledge friendship and you name it. They are filled with joy with you all. And the inn is painted white with lime, and they ply you with pear cider, very strong pear cider.
Mm. And do any of them sort of make any allusions to also having talked to Orlanth?
Oh, they all did.
And
they all did.
They're
more impressed with you. Your answers kind of fill your questions if you tell them about it. They're like, we were asking about well, the old man, Orngoran, he asked about when we should basically, he asked about farming stuff. When will when do we have to make sure that we start the pear harvesting before the autumn rains come, or sorry, before the later rains come. And others asked about things like they all asked about basically local small things. And then, they're like really impressed with you all because you were asking about things that deal with, the need to fight the Lunar Empire. And they're curious about this Argraf fellow. One asks,
oh, they've come to the right place.
yes, there's, Kara, the woman of them asks, well, isn't Kaller prince? Isn't she the rightful prince? She lit the flame.
Oh, you poor naive.
I was Sybil Garen, you're a guest here.
That's largely out of character. I'm just going.
Okay.
Garen wouldn't really speak. You make friends all you want, but he doesn't drink, and he has enough friends, so he's basically just standing there at Hisk's shoulder, looking grim, and steadfastly refusing any entreaties. So when Kara was it? Kara says this, he gives a derisory snort and just sneers slightly, but that's all he says.
But she lit the flame. The kings and queens, they acclaimed her. She's the rightful prince, is she not?
I mumble, we danced with a goddess and fought her. And
we took part in
those
two. We'll say we took part in that quest in it. We fought. I loaned Kaller this sword. I said chaos. What did I call it? My sword. Too many pages. Chaos cleaver, so she could have a weapon, so she did not die. I was the shield of Kaller when fighting on the Lightbringer's quest. I did those things for her, but I do not feel that
Prince. She is Prince then.
Kaller is Lord of Boldholm. Kaller is King of the Keldon. That is my take. But we will. But now is the time not to talk of Kaller. Now is the time to talk of good friendship. Enjoy more of this wonderful stuff.
She's very troubled by this, as are your companions here, because Kaller is Prince, is she not? She is not a pretender. She lit the flame.
She may have done, but this does not make her the true heir of Sartar. The White Bull is the true heir of our Sartar, and we are his prophets.
I don't think it's actually so smart to discuss this here. I'm not
at the Hilperion, and the Hilperion, it's summer. It's a beautiful summer evening, and they've invited all sorts of locals here to see you all because you guys are cool, and you guys, you're coming with this big group, and you're all fancy folk, and the locals are all out for this, and now you've got. Yes, exactly.
Well, what's the Ballmares? What's their feeling? They're all super Kaller supporters, or she's just above them, so they don't know.
Well, they're villagers.
Yeah.
I have the feeling that this discussion actually goes the wrong way because our group has a different opinion from the villagers. So what I will try, actually, it's a good time to praise your ancestors. So have a good song on them, and I started beer drinking, praise the ancestor songs.
Beer drinking or
pear wine, moss, snoopsty-boobs drinking, whatever. But it is very important to praise the ones which left you, so they can actually feast in the big table of Tychoratek. And this is a good time and a lot of good spirit here. So let's drink and sing to get them away from this a little bit of dangerous discussion.
Okay, Claudia, you can persuade them if you succeed on a sing roll.
Yes. 54, and I have a 90 on singing.
Tell me what the theme of your sing is.
I told you.
What type of song?
It is.
What type of song?
It is actually one with an easy rhythm. Where usually we it's one of these nice songs, positive songs on a funeral, but where you drink to it because it's actually a feast to welcome everybody on Taikoratek's table. So it's actually with a tune which goes very easily into your ear and a very, very easy lyric to it. So everybody actually, it's a little bit like Oh Christmas Tree, which is actually available in every language. And that's actually one of these.
So you get everybody singing this and the political conversation is derailed.
Yes.
Oh, thank God for that.
But now they're filled with happiness and they give you all, they give you bowls of pear cider, Colbrast.
Oh, how nice.
I mean, isn't there a pear cider in Austria?
You can make I mean, cider is only some.
Is.
It's fermented fruit wine, so I mean,
yes,
you can
it's
ferment
basically
everything.
a fermented fruit wine. Garen, once again, it is tedious and irritating. Your companions get drunk, they sing, they have a good time, and you sit there.
One day, this penchant for excess is going to get you all into trouble, and on that day, you will all thank me for remaining abstemious. That's all I'm saying.
All right. From there, it's a long day the next day. So it sounds like you're going to bypass Wilmskirk entirely, the city of art. I
think so for this trip.
Okay, that's easy enough to do. Wilmskirk is, you bypass Wilmskirk and head all the way to Quackford. Along the stream, and Quackford is basically you guys go by the Pegasus Plateau, which by the way is a fine book available from Chaosium.
I bought it only 2 days ago.
It's fine. It's glorious.
An excellent addition to anybody's bookshelves.
Exactly. But you pass by that bookshelf. Pass by the Three Emerald Temple in Goodfield and head on and cross the stream over the bridge, Sardar's Bridge at Quackford. Quackford is it's a small town, but it's a town. It's not a village. And what constitutes a town is basically its market. It's got a regular weekly market. And the first thing that might come to notice is there are ducks here. Now, that's no big deal at all to Garen or Nisk, but has Colbrast ever actually seen ducks bartering and arguing and haggling?
Speaking ducks.
Speaking ducks.
No.
Speaking ducks.
They cannot fly. They have arms.
Cannot fly. They have hands instead of wings. Feet.
What abomination is this, my friends? Where have you landed us? Come on.
And there's there's a fair number of ducks here at the market, with arguing and haggling about things. Gina, are you familiar with ducks?
I don't know how common they are in Australia.
Not very. They're one of the.
They taste good.
And they are sentient. They're about 1 meter tall. And there's quite a few of them here. You know, they're not a majority of the town by any sake, but there's quite a few ducks here.
How do the people of the town treat the ducks?
They seem to be, as far as the local Kolimar are concerned, the ducks are just other tribesfolk.
Okay.
So if any, it's like how were ducks treated in Duckburg? You know, nobody seems to pay any attention.
Like the mice and the cats and all the other strange animals.
Yeah, nobody seems to make any particular care that they are ducks.
The ducks also are known to fight in swamps. They're good swamp fighters. And there
And
are undead that
Garen,
live in the swamps.
you know that the
Okay.
ducks are actually Humakt is one of their tribal
One of their
gods.
chief gods, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Not to be trifled with.
but you all are able to find an inn in Quackford, which may possibly give you a little bit of a hint that it is a duck. There's quite a few ducks in
Possibly did.
Quackford. But there are inns that you can stay over in. And Quackford is basically, that's the entry into Collimar lands. So from there, the next day you can head up. And the question I have is, are you going to head on to Clearwine? Or are you going to head directly to Nisk and Garen's clan?
Clearwine to see the king because we made a deal with Leica. And also I know that Beniva Chang is there, and that's for Gina to talk to as well, right? So we should let them know before what happened. And it's on the way.
Oh yeah, it's only 10 kilometers or so from Quackford to Clearwine. So the next morning you head out to Clearwine. And Clearwine, this is the center of the Collimar tribe. It's they have a great earth temple here, which is a great temple. This is the hill fort that is above the earth temple is their hill fort, which is their base of power. And Clearwine is a fortified, it's an overgrown fort that has become a town. It's not a city. But it's possible to get, you go up there. And Nisk, do you have any memory of this place at all?
There's only
Garen,
3. It doesn't make any sense, and I've never been back.
Yeah. This is Nisk is all feeling emotional and confused about going back to his homeland. Garen, I assume you've been here before?
Yes, I've been through several times. I came
Cobrast,
through to Pavis, in fact.
Nope.
Cobrast, you have no idea why your barbarian friends are getting misty-eyed about going to
Well,
Hillfort.
I mean, Nisk has been on the same ship as me for quite a while, so he might have, told me about his home. So yeah, it's probably not a surprise, shall we say?
Gina, it's a
I don't-
Highland hill fort.
Yes,
You've seen a half dozen of them on the way.
they are not very exciting.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's a Highland Hill fort.
There's a high temple to Ronaldo here, though. Major temple.
The Great Temple, the Earth Temple, is one of the biggest temples. in
Yeah,
Dragon
but do
Pass.
they have also, I'm pretty sure they have a shrine for Tycho-Attack.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
How is the graveyard?
Smaller than the one in Baldholm. It's they have the same thing everywhere. The Orlanthe, they burn their dead,
That's
and then they
okay.
put them into urns, and they dance and sing as they bury the urns.
So the usual.
The usual. They're
It's okay. I mean, they're not barbarians.
They're not
So-
barbarians. They're just Hicks.
Rednecks.
Landire.
Landire.
But Clearwine is much, much, much smaller than Baldholm. I mean, it's an overgrown, fortified village compared to Baldholm.
But they have these sacred wine fields for Zenalda Temple, right? And this is something I want to visit because I even heard in Australia of.
Yes, this is the great, this is the home, Clearwine is the home of the wine called Clearwine, which is a very highly regarded white wine. And they even do an ice wine.
Oh, nice.
But And even in Isrolia, clear wine is a very valued wine. And so that's where you guys head there. And it is very possible for you all to get get an audience with the king, Leica, or the queen, because in English it doesn't really make any sense to call a female a king, but the Orlanthi, you would call her a king.
Good. Let's try and do that.
Yeah, that's not hard. You've met with her before. You're one of the Thanes of Argrath. And you're able to get an audience with the queen. She's got the Kolimar. There's a citadel above the village, and there it's got a megaron. One of those basically the open aired small palaces with a hearth and a throne, and the tribal leader of the Kolimar is perfectly willing to meet with you all.
I have a relationship with Leica anyway, right?
Exactly. She's perfectly willing to have an audience with you. And they provide at the audience, they provide food. And before business can be talked, they have a bowl of clear wine that they pass around. And Colbrast, are you a beer drinker? Are you a wine drinker? Are you a cider drinker or just a drinker?
I would say that Colbrast drinks whatever he's offered, and has a taste if it's okay.
It's a very, very tasty drink. It's like a dry Riesling.
Oh, well, okay. Yep, nice. But in the end, he's a pirate, so it's might as well be drinking rum grog or something. So, not exactly connoisseur, I would say.
No, but there's good stuff. There's bad stuff.
Yeah.
Does Gina? They pass you that. Garen, they don't even. Garen, I assume you just tell them that you have an oath not to drink. There's no issue. Leica is a woman in her late 30s, clearly a warrior, and she carries with her the main regalia of the Kolimar tribe, and that's the black spear, and it's an obsidian-headed spear that she carries around basically as her scepter. And she has a number of counselors, and she welcomes you. She offers you all the drinks, and then drinks with you all, and wants to know, basically, this is your chance to say why you wanted an audience with her.
Well, one of the things I wanted to have an audience with her was to talk about what happened at the event, because they weren't there.
No.
And give the information.
She will want to know this.
And I'm here to tell her, give her the information. And, she's someone who we consider an ally. So I would be remiss to not, be as truthful as possible and tell her what happened and our take of it.
And what did happen, according to you guys? She doesn't want to hear the blow by blow of everything. Or maybe she does, but she wants to know what happened.
Basically, Callier really proved that her pride and her reliance on the pole star showed that she was trying to drive through everything without being through personal ability, as opposed to following exactly the way of Orlanth. And that hubris led to her downfall when it came to the summoning of chaos, when Jariel the Razoress, as an aspect of the Red Goddess, was summoned for evil and fought. And had we not stepped in, had Gina not done her dance to set this Jariel fighting had the swords and weapons not being wielded by Garen, not being wielded by that, had I not taken the blows for Leica and given Leica my sword, sorry, but not Leica, Keller would be dead. And that, I think, proves that Keller is not the one. There is a challenge here. Keller she risked too much. She was too confident, too angry and willing to listen to people and listen to advice. And if we were not there in our take, that when Jariel would have come, they would all be dead.
Can I support his story with some soundtracks?
Yeah.
So with music?
Do you want an orate roll for that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So I augment you with my music.
Okay.
Let me see what I have here.
It matters what you roll.
Okay. I do not do it with singing. I do not do it with dancing, but I have music. I only have to find it. Sorry, I know where it is. I just read.
I mean, I can orate. I could augment myself, but if you want to roll, I'm fine with that.
I want to use it. Play instruments, castanets, whatever. 50. So I can do that. And I rolled a 93.
Okay,
Hey,
so I
minus.
succeed. Yeah, I succeed. I don't get a special, which I would have gotten if you succeeded. But I didn't fail. That's okay. The music was distracting, sadly, to them.
She wants to know, is the prince fatally weakened?
Does she want to stage a coup or what?
I don't know. I think that significantly weakened, very, fatally. I probably can't make that judgment call right now. But I think that there's definitely, Sartor is not in the position it was prior to the ritual. She bet too much and she lost. And I think that I don't know about the Lunars, but there could be something there. Now I'm very concerned about it.
She thanks you for her defense of the prince. For it would have been worse if the prince died during this rite. She offers you all gifts. So, she offers you all, and we'll unspecify, but some pieces of jewelry, some nice pieces of jewelry. She offers, and she offers some weapons to Nisk, Kolbrast, and Garen.
It's gonna have to be pretty good to get me to put aside my.
No, but they're gifts.
They're gifts. You can use them for some of the other sword.
So she makes sure that swords are offered to the three of you. No, they are not as good as your sword, Garen. That's not going to happen. But it's still that this is what a tribal leader is supposed to do. I
will thank her for her generosity. For I will say that with Keller's Starbrow, not once did she forget to gift me, but twice when I finally had to remind her.
Well, she reminds you that the Kolimar take care of their own.
Of that, there's a reason why we came to talk to you. The Kolimar take care of their own.
And basically, she wants to get on it. She is willing. She offers you the hospitality of her palace. Now, the word palace it's the correct word. Mm-hmm. But don't we're talking
Yeah.
It's not a palace, but it's a king's residence. There are guest areas and whatnot. She offers that to you. And she wants to know what your plans are, what you know of this Argrath, etc.
Now, don't forget, I've met with her, right? We did it kind of off camera, but I did talk to her beforehand about Argrath and my relationship and introduced her. I went down and did that prior to when we were preparing for the rituals for the Lightbringer's quest.
Oh yeah, but she wants to know more. She wants to know more. She will tell you that she has known Kaller since the rebellion. And she will acknowledge that Kaller is a good fighter, but she has never been a good leader.
And Kaller lost most of her kinsfolk, her ring, who stood around her. In many ways, that's probably the biggest loss of that. That's the biggest local loss of that. She's missed their. I'm concerned she's also lost their advice for some of them. That when I traveled with them and helped guide them through the underworld, and when I did that, I realized that a number of them were calming influences. Well, people that she would listen to, and I fear that with them gone, she may be even more rash and push harder to try and gather her. To do things to try and rectify this, and that worries me. There's no question of her bravery. There's no question of her ability to fight. You know,
She, Leica wants to know, what is your plans? You have her hospice. She offers you the hospitality. You are Kolimar. She offers this hospitality to your non-Kolimar friends.
so our plans are, if we may, to stay a while to visit. I believe that Gina, my companion Gina here, wishes to talk to the queen, because she's the priestess and
The
priestess, and at some point then I will be traveling to see my homeland that I've not been to since I was 3 years old, to pay respects to my family and my kin, and to on that. I also bring greetings from a few members of Argrath's household that are also Hjordan and Kolimar. So I wish to send those.
She says that perhaps then you may aid your clan. For your clan, her companion Asborn wishes to that they is one of the leaders of the Hjordan clan, Asborn Thriceborn, who is a fairly famous person, but part of her household. It is more important that she has his aid here than she allows him to return back to aid the Hjordan clan, and that perhaps you can aid them. For since the Lightbringer's quest, they have the Hjordan have been unable to contact their spirit.
Ooh,
The swan. Wow.
that's not good.
Well, that is certainly something that we will do what we can to resolve.
But with that, she gives you, it basically the way these tribal feasts turn out, or the audiences, is they, there's a little bit of business and talking. At some point, it just becomes a wine drinking contest.
Mm.
So you've got access to the king, but she, there's no, as far as she's concerned, the main business is that you should head up to spend a few days here, she as her guest, and then head up to the Hjordan lands and aid them.
A king who looks first after their people and then themselves is one who should be king. he says. Obviously, we'll do that.
So,
but also just in general, improving the relationship and giving more giving anything she wants to know about the court of Argrath, about who he is, from the parts we know. I'll definitely share that.
She wonders, there was not a prince in Sartar for over 20 years. And now what is left, and the House of Sartar were great. There was Sartar, there was Serenil, there was Jerilar and Jerasar, there was Tarkalor the Great. All the sons and grandsons and great-grandsons of Sartar the Founder. Kalar is a great granddaughter through a bastard. This Argrath, he may be your warlord and war leader, but he is even more remote. And she openly, with her household, and there's a lot of wine drinking, she even openly questions, is not the House of Sartar reached its end? This is, and
if you ask me that without meeting Argrath, I'm saying if you ask me that without meeting Argrath, I would say that maybe. But we have fought with Argrath. We have seen what Argrath can do. We have seen the power that he wields. We have seen the devotion to Orlanth that he has. And this is an opportunity, I think. This is an opportunity for Sartar as a kingdom.
I want everybody to make an insight roll.
I fail.
27 is success.
Cobrast?
Nope.
You're pretty sure, Nisk, that when she's asking this rhetorical question, really the question is, why shouldn't she be the Prince of Sartar?
She's an ambitious woman, is she?
She's an ambitious woman. She leads one of the biggest tribes. She leads the biggest tribe, and she fought every bit as much as Keller Starbrow.
Why didn't I ask her very bluntly, why isn't she trying to get this throne or become prince?
She says the Prince of Sartar is that one must be descended from Sartar.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you will find a way somehow.
There is I question, at some point, are those descended from Sartar so distant from Sartar that the magic is gone?
What do your grandmothers say to that? That's what we would ask in Australia.
Says my grandparents are all dead, killed by the Lunar Empire. So are my parents. So I do not ask them. And she also says, I am not.
Do you want to ask them?
Well, she says, and I am not an Israelian. And we are not here. We are not ruled by our grandmothers. We are ruled by those. We are ruled, and now she's speaking to everybody here. We are ruled by those with the strength and the skill to lead.
But if you want to have advice from your grandmother, do you want that? I can maybe help you with that.
Oh dear.
Yes, Bill.
Better take another swig of wine.
Oh, by the way, Cobrast, it is really tasty wine.
Yep. Yeah, sure it is. I've heard a lot about it in Boldholm already. walking around on the markets.
She asks whether and she raises rhetorically for her court, whether she says it is undeniable that Sartar is a god, and that his children and that his grandchildren were great men. But how many generations does that magic remain in one's blood? Garen, how many generations does that last? 3, 4? Or are we like the Lunars, where it lasts forever?
It depends upon the person and how they conduct themselves. There are some who are more like to their ancestors and some who are less. We should not judge by their proximity, we should judge by their deeds.
And what say you, Gina? You're Israeli.
Ask your grandmother. They always have knowledge.
I want to see. I'm going to even, because of this, I'm even going to look up something. I'm going to look up who her grandmother was. It's in, by the way, her lineage is in the Game Master Adventure book. May not have who her grandmother is. Actually, she doesn't really, her grandmother was not as important as her grandfather.
She can also ask him.
But she says that she is the first of that lineage to be king. And again, although she has that there are
so she is actually an ambitious upcomer.
Well, she's related to other kings, just not a direct descent. But basically what she is musing is whether the whole idea that one has to be connected to a magical family as whether that, and asking anybody this, or she's drinking and raising this in her court in what seems to be kind of a rehearsed manner of
floating the idea.
Yes, floating the idea of whether this sacred bloodline has run its course. And you've heard now in Bodholm, obviously, where the being ruled by the sacred bloodline is the most important. You didn't hear this musing very often. But in her court, there are many who they offer their drinks and they offer their blessings to Sartar and his house, but at the same time, they question whether Kalar or this Argrath of Prax, and they don't mean that insulting, but how distant does one need to be? How distant can one be from Sartar before even Sartar does not recognize them?
Yeah, there's obviously only one way to find that out, I guess.
So what does Nisk say to all of this? She asks.
Nisk is probably going to be a little bit non-committal in terms of how he's doing it, and say that probably with Garen in terms of this, that I don't know if it's run its course. I'll be honest about that. I think that if there is, Kalar has no descendants, no kids, none that would carry on from there in any case. And so it might be the last one, but maybe not. There is a strong person who was born in Kalimar lands who claims that they are a descendant of Sartar.
She wants to know if you can recite this, recite Argrath's lineage.
Do I know it?
You tell me.
I think he does. It's something he would know, specifically because he's Kalmar as well. And he feels that that was a connection of why Argrath basically met with him on the first time and let him join. So yes, he would be able to recite it. Anyone, I mean, oratory is like his top skill, so he would think of it that way.
Okay, this will be the final roll. Would you roll against your oratory? Yeah.
71. Success.
So success. And basically, Argrath is not from her clan, but is of a Kolimar. The way that you define his lineage, he's probably either his father was Oromarth and his mother was from one of the clans in the eastern part of the tribe. And she's willing to accept that there, but he's not here. And she's an ambitious woman. You've told her that Kalar has been badly weakened. And you can certainly see there is an element that she doesn't dismiss him at all.
Yeah.
But there's certainly running through
her mind.
Her mind and her court that, couldn't I make a bid for this?
Yeah. Well, being slightly, not drunk, obviously, but having had some of the nice wine, so I think, having traveled all across many oceans and seen many different things in my more nautical days, there is only one advice I would give in this situation. As it stands now, if you mean it, what you say, then this is the time to test your theory.
And how would one do that, Wolf Pirate?
I'm just a pirate. I have very limited strategic abilities, obviously. I'm just saying, if not now, then the opportunity may never again arise.
And she thinks she refills your cup, and you all have a good evening in the king's household. There's temple dancers and whatnot. But where I would like to end tonight is how many days do you plan to stay in the palace? 2, 3 days?
Yeah, 2 or 3. Enough time for Gina to have a meeting with Beneva Chang and stuff, and then head north.
I need to go to the temple. I need to pay my respect to Arnaldo and the Taikora Tech Shrine there. And maybe visit the catacombs, graveyard, whatever.
As an aside, the high priestess of the temple, who is not Beneva Chan, but instead her daughter, Aranava Chan, she is very Israelian.
That's good.
It's a very Israelian feeling temple. It turns out she lived in Nochit and Ezel for many years.
Oh, good.
So you feel very comfortable there. It's heavily Israeli influence.
I talked the others to stay a few days longer. I talked them into that. Only a few days, please, 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 pretty please.
Well, we do have a clan that's lost its ability to talk to its founders.
Yeah,
so where I would like to stop tonight is after you all have spent your time in Clearwine and are preparing to head up to Swan. Does that sound okay to everybody? It being 11:30 at night already, which is a good stopping point for us Central Europeans.
Sounds fine.
Come on, it's only 2:30.
It is only 2:30. But I think this is a good stopping point. thank you all and tune in next time.
Thank you.